Good morning and welcome to Fitness Friday. I'm here with Casey Stutzman at Performance Soccer. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning, Ashley. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what are we doing today?
I want to take a look at lunges today. It's a common exercise. A lot of people put it in their program and just take a look at it.
And what are lunges and why are they important?
That's a great question. So big thing with lunges is we have the legs doing opposite things. So we call this a reciprocal pattern. So one leg is going forward, one leg is going back. So one hip is what we call flexing, the other one is extending simultaneously. The reason that's so important is because those are the basic mechanics of walking or running. So we want to make sure that we have full flexion in one leg while having full extension in the opposite leg. So they're a really, really important movement because it's a very functional and foundational pattern.
And what kind of muscles does this work on? Your legs? What parts of your body is it working on?
So that's a great question. Really, the easiest way to put it is a little bit of everything. So we have all the trunk is working to stabilize the pelvis, and then we basically have everything around the hips in order to move those, but then we have all the lower leg muscles to stabilize the knees and the ankles. Awesome. So it's very, very, very full body.
Definitely. Okay, so could you show me maybe a proper way and an improper way of doing this?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, why don't you face this way for me? Go ahead into a lunge. And now we're going to start off with what we call a split squat. So a split squat is where the feet don't move. They stay in the same spot. And now just give me a straight down and straight up. Perfect. Now, the hardest part about the lunges is we want to look at what the hips are doing. Now, we've talked a little bit in the past about posture and alignment. So imagine your pelvis is a bucket of water. Right here, if you can see at home, we have a little bit of a slant there. So we're basically spilling water out the front of the bucket, which means that this butt cheek is turned off. So the pelvis isn't totally stable, and we have a little bit of tension in the spine here. So what we want to do is I want you to tighten that the right glute a little bit and soften this knee. So think about leveling your bucket. Now stay up nice and tall for me. Good. Come on back to the top. Now keep that bucket level. Now do you instantly feel this hip open up in the front?
Yep.
Now put a little bit of tension in your trunk, but keep that bucket level. There you go. So at the bottom, you're kind of squeezing forward just a little bit. Straight down and straight up. Now, we're a little bit narrow in the stance. Let's take that foot forward for me just a little bit more.
A little bit more forward?
A little bit more. Good. And now level that bucket. Boom, boom. You got it. Now keep it level, straight down. There you go, and straight up. You know, give me one more, hold it at the bottom. Now here we got a nice straight line here, 90 and 90 in the knees, and drive on up. How'd that second one feel, or that last one feel?
A lot better.
You also notice it opens up that hip a little bit more.
Yep.
So a lot of us get very tight in the hip flexors because we spend a lot of time behind desks or sitting. So that causes us to kind of hide into there a little bit, and that turns off that back hip, which puts the spine in a little bit more of a compromised position. So when we drive that hip forward, it allows the core to center and brace. We protect the spine, and then we can load both legs evenly. You notice how the second one, the back leg was doing a lot more work.
Yep, I can feel it.
Perfect. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want both legs to get the job done. Otherwise, we tend to have a little too much shearing force in the front knee as we go through.
And who would you recommend and when would you recommend these squats?
That's a great example. They're good for everybody, but big picture is, can you maintain that standard of keeping your bucket level? So once someone can do that, then we'll start progressing to forward lunges or to walking lunges. But if I'm having trouble keeping my bucket level in this split squat, we're going to stay there for a while until we get, what does it feel like to lock down and then find that tension in the trunk?
And as we talked about before, is it always a good idea to add weights?
It's a great question. So again, big picture, are you meeting that standard? Can I keep my bucket level? Can I keep tension in the trunk? If the answer is no, it doesn't make a lot of sense to add weight to there. So usually what we'll start with is, can you do the split squat? Then after that, can we go into a forward lunge or a reverse lunge? Then maybe start walking, but maintaining that bucket level position. And then once we've got all that, yes, we can absolutely slowly start to add weight.
Okay, so it's better to perfect the squat first and then add weight, so then you're not putting in tension where unnecessary.
It's all about the movement. The movement always comes first. On top of good movement is where we start to think about building speed and power and endurance and all that other fun stuff. But good movement gives us durability and longevity.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Casey, for coming on today and showing us the proper way to do a squat. And hopefully people at home got something for this, and maybe on a break in the office or something like that, they can do this. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.